On Grandstand today, bold and brave, the globe's top gymnasts have one chance for gold in the World Cup finals. Courage of a different kind required. Good afternoon. We are packed to the rafters here in Birmingham's National Indoor Arena. This weekend we have the largest crowds ever to attend a gymnastics event here in Great Britain. And they've all come to see the World Cup finals. It's the climax of a 2-year-long World Cup tour. Only the best of the best gymnasts have qualified to be here, and we have 4 Apparatus finals live for you this afternoon. Great anticipation, of course, about Cheshire's Beth Tweddle, who's aiming to become the first British gymnast ever to win a medal in this competition. So this is how our programme of events looks this afternoon. Our major finals today include men's floor and pommel horse, women's vault, then Beth Tweddle going for glory in front of this pretty boisterous crowd on the asymmetric bars at around 2:30. We'll build up to kick-off around the country from 20. Cheers, Ray. Now, I know you, Ray, and everyone else at home was completely mesmerised by the gymnastic events at the Athens Summer Olympics just a few months ago. Now, we've got much more of that kind of quality for you here in Birmingham this weekend, because we have no fewer than 13 current or former Olympic champions on show. So this is where we're at this weekend, and this is what we've got. Strong as a bull, Marian Dragulescu takes command on the floor. We'll get one over on the other. Golden champions Rosu and Zamolodjikova go head to head. King of pommels, prepare to be dazzled by the 2000 Olympic champion Marius Urzica. Bringing the changes, Tomita and the Japanese men are a major force again. And can Tweddle medal? Britain's Beth has a chance to make history at home on A-bars. So that's the lineup for a competition that is short, spectacular and very much to the point. Remember, only the world's top 8 gymnasts have qualified to be here on each piece of apparatus, and from here on in, no previous results count. They all have one chance, and one chance only, to make their mark for glory and for gold in these World Cup finals. Now, I wonder what difference the atmosphere here in Birmingham will have. Craig Heap, double Commonwealth champion, of course, for England. You competed in Manchester. How does this atmosphere help all of the participants?
Well, it's fantastic for the gymnasts because they want to show to the world what they can do. So the better the audience, the more they're going to want to impress them. So it can only help.
And in terms of the importance of this competition, where do these World Cup finals rank in the grand scheme of things, Craig?
Well, I'd see this probably the next step down for a final in the Olympic Games. I mean, we've got the best. They've proved themselves over 2 years. So like you say, one person might fluke it into an Olympic final. These people competing have had to prove themselves. They're the best there is, so it's going to be an excellent competition.
So this is really the ultimate test of consistency over 2 years, effectively?
Yeah, without a doubt. They've got to prove themselves, and they've done it. So hopefully they want to walk away with the title. Okay, well, let's get into it. We're looking forward to it. The first event is the men's floor, and I guess we could bill this one as an old head against the young pretender, because we've got Marian Dragulescu of Romania, the Athens silver medalist, and he's up against an exciting new talent from Brazil, 18-year-old Diego Hipólito. Now, Craig, what kind of buzz has Diego Hipólito created in South America? Well, apparently he's a national hero, I think, and it's always good a sport like gymnastics get recognition from these stars that come and show that they can compete with the best in the world. Dragulescu's a master, but like we were saying earlier, he's actually taking some moves out of his routine, you know, to match this new guy, so it's all very exciting. Okay, well, it's an excellent field, not just those 2 men, and let's just give you an idea of what the judges will be looking for in these floor routines. Floor is about linking somersaults together. The more twists in the somersaults there are, the greater the bonus points received. The gymnast must also try to roll out of these combinations, as it allows greater margin for error and saves them losing points on the landing. The routine must last between 50 and 70 seconds, and the final tumble, they must land on both feet.
So the men just coming in, about to start, and the top trio in the commentary box this afternoon. We welcome Christine Still, Commonwealth champion Steve Frew, and the man in the middle, Mitch Fenner.
Into the first line then, Isayo Yoneda. Good solid start, but living dangerously, very close to the edge. Two and a half twists, front somersault, 1 3/4. The rollout, of course, very important. Nice and high, elegant in the pike side somersault. And almost leisurely in his approach, but that belies the preparation for these finals. Yoneda, very experienced. Demonstrating the control in all the linking moves. And the big tumble to finish things with a good impression for the judges. Full in, back out, just a pace back. So Yoneda gets us underway. First impressions, Christine?
A solid start, I think. That's my first impression. Not an inspiring performance, but a very solid performance.
Lives in Tokyo now. 2004 Olympic Games.
Very powerful, controlled tumbler. Look, the full twisting, double back, but the big pace, that'll be deducted.
Yes, Mitch, very business-like routine here. Powerful tumbles into that 1.5 rollout, very precise movements.
Steve Frew, of course, with his comments. And this is a very popular link now, the Vendy swing, borrowed from the pommel horse. These links just as important. They build the difficulty and leave a good impression of control. So the first score, we have a 9.55 with a start value of 10. And that start value, very important. 27 years old now, Yuan Suchu. 4th all-round in the Olympic Games. A great all-rounder. A linchpin of the bronze medal performance for Romania in Athens and here. Making this final. And Suchu, very talented performer. Energetic and precise in his opening tumble. Two and a half twist, and he just got in that 1 3, but it cost him because his foot dribbled outside of the area. Straddle pike side, nicely done. So, a 10th he's given the judges, and he'll want to claw that back. Superb control in the lifter handstand. Full twisting double to finish. So Suchu chasing a 9.55.
Very crisp first tumble, but lost his way a little bit. This was the one he lost his way. You can see buckled on that second somersault. Really did well to recover, but slightly out.
Yeah, Christine, buckling the ankle in that middle tumble, and it's very hard to continue after that. You know, your ankle's in pain, and it's very tough to finish the exercise, but you've got to concentrate.
Thought it probably just affected this last landing. He didn't put his feet down with great confidence, wanted to take the step backwards.
Judges, Hardy Fink there on the left, controlling. And the score 9-3-2-5. Yoneda still out there in front. Suchu takes second place with 6 performances still to come. Hungary's Robert Gál is the next in this illustrious lineup on floor from Budapest. Consistent finalist over the 2 years of World Cup qualifying competitions. Here he is in the first of 2 finals today. And many of these gymnasts opting for the 1 3/4 front somersault at the end of a complex series, building the difficulty. Just a little dip at the elbows there. The lifter handstand, absolute control necessary. Plenty of height. Of course, having to include a side somersault or a back somersault with half twist. Very important that they satisfy all of the requirements. Double twist, and just the whistle there needs to make sure. So Robert Gál, almost leisurely in his approach to that competition, that routine. Christine.
Yes, he's got that particular sort of leisurely approach that makes everything look very, very well within his grasp, doesn't he? The landings are soft and light.
I think with the leisurely approach, it gives that confidence that that some competitors need in a final such as this level. He hit the floor a little bit on one of the flare combinations, which is going to cost him, and a little bend of the arms as well, which is all points for the final mark.
And I just wonder, without a big multiple somersault, whether the general impression will be affected.
So Robert Gál going for tried and tested work. 9.537, and it's got him into second place. So the tactics of Robert Gál proving effective. A young man who's taken the World Cup scene by storm. Just 18 years old, Diego Hipólito opens up. And what a superb start it was. He kicks out of the 1 and 3. Oh, and he seems to be in total control. Complex work, beautifully controlled. Hipólito at 18. Great maturity in this presentation. The links, the style, the body line, immaculate. The big finish. He accelerates. And a double twisting, double tuck. Absolutely superb. He's punching the air. The audience are lifting him off the floor area. Superb work from the 18-year-old.
Well, it's going to be something special to beat that. That really had it all, that routine.
Fantastic performance from Hipólito. He's a bit of a national hero in Brazil, and that performance was just fitting for him.
Got great technique, hasn't he? Look, time to open out before that roll.
Absolute precision in this tumbling. 1.5 twists. Half twist there, beautifully. Into the double twist and punch 1 1/4. Lovely work. And look at the score, 9.737. The youngster from Brazil takes the lead. Marian Dragulescu, and if anyone can challenge Diego Hipólito, it's this man. World champion in 2001 and 2002, 23 years old, from Birmingham, Bucharest. He has taken a leaf out of Hipólito's book, and he tells us that he's copied the second line because he needed to improve his own routine. So, twice world champion, challenging. Oh, and he struggled there. Into the second run. 1 and 3, and he's out of the area. So 2 tumbles and the second a major error. Now this has given Dragulescu unsurmountable problems. And a sign that the nerves are hitting home now. There's a hesitation in that lift to handstand. Finishes with a double-double though, and all of his landings have given him problems today. So Dragulescu off the boil, and it's not the time to lose style and form, is it, Christine?
No, he had all the pressure on him, didn't he? All the pressure on his shoulders going into this routine, and he didn't handle it. Look at this, right out of the area. You need to be so precise.
Yeah, very difficult to recover after stepping out of the area, but such a powerful tumbler, Dragulescu. And he steps back after that double twisting, double tuck to finish. Just a bit unfortunate for him.
Very unfortunate indeed for the twice world champion. Chasing some very lofty scores. Needs a 9.537. And just to get into medal position, 9.737 is in the lead, but 9.362, and no medal for the twice world champion Dragulescu. What a wonderful moment for Jeffrey Van Mes from the Netherlands, 17 years old, the youngest male competitor here. Bronze at the last world qualifier for this event, and here he is. He's really a confident start, the little straddle jump at the end. Just a hasty adjustment. But Van Mes, some very interesting tumbling. Just a double bounce there at the end of the roll. Using some simpler linking moves just to make sure that he's got composure, he's ready for the big stuff. And a double pike Arabian, a superb finish for the 17-year-old. What a final we're being treated to here.
Not quite the polish in the linking elements. Great tumbling.
What a fantastic finish for that double pike Arabian somersault. Absolutely spectacular.
Great height on this series, very unusual straddle jump. Make sure there's no steps on landing. Clever way to be sure of not losing marks.
He's put the exercise together very cleverly. And he really, that is a spectacular start.
This, I think, probably the final one that astounded us. Half turn in, double pike front, so high and so well landed.
17 years old, Valmes, and many finals in store, I'm certain. We've seen some good scores here. 9.737 out there in front. 9.35 for Jeffrey Valmes into 5th place. The start value was down to 9.8.
Next competitor,
Yerenbetov. Great all-round prospect. 4th in the World Championships in 2008. Many people tipped him, including me, for a medal at the Olympics, and sadly, he didn't have the best day and finished 14th. But he's in 4 finals across this weekend. Here's the first, Yerenbetov, on floor and off floor. 1/10 out of the area. Very clean gymnast. Precision and control in the links, so important. That elegance, extra touch, that makes him such a prospect as an all-round performer. Just about in. So Yerenbetov, the double twist, edge towards the very, very limit of the floor area. But he's lovely to watch.
Even though he had the step out on that first tumble, the rest of the routine was really beautifully clean. Look how straight the legs are in the extended movements. Recovered well. Bit of a deep landing, but he really is, like you say, Mitch, a classy gymnast.
Yeah, very stylish performer, Yerenbetov, one of the true great stylists that's left in World Gymnastics. And on that double twisting, double straight somersault, just a step back on that landing, which is out.
9.337, 6th place for him. 19 years old, Brandon O'Neill from Edmonton, Alberta. Only made his debut on the international stage last year. And what a storm he caused. He won the Pan American Games, and of course, inspired by the work of his compatriot Carl Schofield, who's the reigning Olympic floor champion. But here he is, Brandon O'Neill. Oh, and very, very quick thinking there. Beautiful technique in the twists. And like Schofield, his combinations, very impressive. Just zipping through. Double Vendy swing and sits comfortably in splits. Well, very solid in the handstand. The big tumble. Super work. A twisting double back, which has become quite the norm now.
Yeah, very strong work here, just disguised the error at the beginning. Very good, very powerful here. 2.5 twists. Was he meant to make a punch front somersault out, and will it affect his start value? That's what the judges have to decide.
Yeah, I was very impressed with Brandon O'Neill's exercise. Very precise in his combinations, and legs glued together and really high in that double twisting, double tuck.
Fast twitch he does have. Whether he's got the start value, we'll have to wait and see. He did get it. 9.475, just out of the medal positions for Brandon O'Neill.
Well, that concludes our first apparatus. Before we welcome in our ladies onto gold, we have a quick piece of
The first final then, complete, and we've been impressed with the youngster Diego Hippolito. Gold, 9.737, ahead of Asayo Yoneda. Robert Gall takes the bronze, and Dragulescu, double world champion, has to be content with 5th place.
Yes, Diego Hippolito, a wonderful display of tumbling. Craig, what makes him so special and different from the rest at the moment?
Well, I think it's quite unusual that such a big guy can jump so high. It makes his tumbles look so easy, and believe you me, it's not easy at all.
And the effects of fatigue on someone like Dragulescu, he's had a very, very long season, European Championships, Olympic Games now this. How much does that play a part, Craig?
I think that's probably the biggest influence on his poor performance today. He's been through Olympic final. Hippolito wasn't there. He's come here very hungry, and you can see that he does look very tired, and I feel sorry for him, really.
Now, Hippolito wasn't at the Olympic Games. He'll certainly be at the World Championships next year in Australia. But what are the chances, Craig, because of this complicated qualification system, that he could ever win an Olympic gold medal? Is it possible?
Well, it's going to be very difficult for him because you need to qualify as a team or an individual. But if you haven't got a team there to go for the qualification stages, then it's very difficult. There could be a slight chance he could get invitation from a wild card from the FIG. But, yeah, he might miss out on being an Olympic champion.
So he's really relying on an invitation for Beijing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be tough for him, and hopefully they will give him that place.
OK, well, let's hope so as well. Another quick word about Jeremy Warman that we saw there, the young Dutchman. And I guess it also underlines your point that the guys that are younger and fresher who didn't go to the Olympics, they're the ones who are hungry for this time.
Yeah, I mean, I thought his score was a bit low, to be honest. I thought he did an absolutely fantastic performance. And these young guys, obviously, they want in the places and they want in the medals, and that's what they're going for. So the older guys have to watch out.
OK, well, it was a fascinating start to this competition. Next up, it's one of the most unpredictable disciplines in any gymnastics competition. It's the vault, and first to attack it are the women. Now, it's not enough just to perform a clean vault and stick the landing these days. Oh no, you've got to do it twice, as Christine Still explains.
The judging starts once the gymnast leaves the springboard. The best vaults have lots of height and length off the platform. Whilst the gymnast is in the air, they add twists and somersaults. This increases the difficulty of the vault. The gymnast can choose which vault to perform, and each has its own tariff, but whatever vault is chosen, it is essential they land on their feet with control and style.
Now, it was Romanian teenager Monica Roșu, only 17, who took the gold medal in Athens, and not much had really been heard about Monica, or indeed the Romanians, before the start of this year. What sort of pressure now, Craig? Because she was unknown before the Olympics. She comes here as an Olympic champion. How does that affect the performance, do you feel?
It's certainly a lot more pressure. Obviously, they say it's easier to get to the top than staying there, and she's going to have to prove herself as being the Olympic champion to come here and defend that title. So it is a very difficult job she's got ahead. She
seems to be a very confident young woman, though. They all do, all of the Romanian girls.
Well, I think the confidence is that the hardest part for the Romanians is actually to get onto the team. So basically, if you've gone through all the pressure and the trials and everything, to go to the Olympics and win is probably a bit easier for her, to be honest.
Well, Roșu is, of course, a double Olympic champion, having won the gold medal both on the vault and in the team competition. And we've got not one but two double Olympic champions in this final, because we've also got the experienced Russian Elena Zamolodchikova, who won 2 gold medals at the Sydney Games. She finished 4th in Athens this year after she hopped on landing after one of her vaults. Tiny margin between success and failure on this piece. Look out too for Russia's elegant Anna Pavlova, who took Olympic bronze in Athens. Once again, it's Christine Still, Steve and Mitch Fenner in the commentary box.
So the first of these women's finals, Chongfei for China.
And the first of her 2 vaults, very, very clean, double twisting, straight somersault, beautiful work there. The gymnasts have to perform 2 different vaults. They have to approach the platform in 2 different ways. This time she had the backflip on.
Plenty of lift off the platform and clean on the double twist.
unlikely to see a cleaner twist. Her legs are locked together. She's a beautiful technician. We've enjoyed her work on the floor, but this is fabulous vaulting as well.
Yeah, she had very powerful lift off that vault and such intricate twisting and a very good landing as well.
Chung Fai then. She really did capture an awful lot of hearts in Athens with her charming presentation and superb tumbling on floor, Christine.
Yes, she did, and we're seeing that same sort of style and technique here. But that was her favourite vault. She has to change vault now and wait for the first score.
And the first score, 9.462. Start value of 9.8. Another vault to come.
Yeah, it's very difficult, Mitch, for the women to get 10 start value on vault. 9.8's one of the most difficult.
Chung Fai, a second vault, 9.462 for the first. Remember, it's the average. Here comes a second effort, Chung Fai.
And completely different vault, not so complex. A forward approach, handspring with a pike front somersault and half turn.
Plenty of attack. Huge push from the handspring. A little bit flat, perhaps, and the half turn in the pike somersault.
But very good style, legs locked together, beautifully clean turn.
Just feel, Christine, she could have got a little bit more lift from that platform to give her a little bit more space to land.
Yes, a little deduction for a pike on landing, but great alignment.
Chung Fai then. 2 vaults in the locker. The second will be added, and the average taken of the 2. Chung Fai then, second vault. She comes up with a 9.362. That's the average of the 2.
Olympic champion on this piece of apparatus.
The Olympic champion, Monica Rousseau. 4th in the World Championships in 2003. Ranked 3 in this World Cup series. But she did take the Olympic title in Athens, 17 years old. Surely the favourite.
Yes, she's been very strong on the vault all season. The double twist, very clean, very high.
Very powerful first vault. The aggression there, absolutely determined. Smacks the top of the platform, punches round that double twist, and it'll take some beating.
It will do. At the Olympics, she added another half a twist. She did 2.5. Just 2 twists here, but very good, very clean.
Rossi got some beautiful lift from that vault. I think a bit better compared to the Chinese off the platform.
I would say she's grown quite a bit since Athens, and that extra height enables her to be a little bit more dynamic.
9.525. So for Monica Rousseau, with a 9.525 already safely stowed away. Second vault for the Romanian Olympic champion.
And this time, different approach. The turn on to the platform, she took off forwards, off the board. The turn onto the platform, beautifully straight body. Not so many twists.
Second vault, she performs
Lovely and straight, 1.5. Lost form on the legs a little bit.
Yeah, lost form just a little bit on that landing, but you've really got to be a top-class sprinter as you come up to that springboard and get as high off that vault as you can.
The approach would do credit to any long jumper.
And that was a little bit of an uncomfortable landing.
Octavian Ballou there, the architect behind the Romanian success for so many years. Little smile from the Olympic champion, and you can see the score there, 9.456 in the lead.
In this vault final, she represents China.
Wang Chanchan from China. And not so long ago, Christine, we would never see one Chinese in a world-class final, and here we are with two on vault.
Yes, an apparatus they've really worked on, and this gymnast's been their powerful vaulter all season. You can see why, although that step outside the lines will be deducted.
15 years old. China will place 7th at the Olympic Games.
Just a little bit ragged in the twist towards the end, and the pace out of the corridor.
Yes, a bit of a pike down wasn't there on the landing, but powerful lift off the top. You could see as she twisted, she created a pike.
Yeah, Christine, sometimes you've got to pike down after that, after the vault, to ensure that you land back on your feet.
And on her feet she was. Wang Chanchan. 9.3, the opening score. So, for China, Wang Chanchan, her second vault, having already scored a 9.3.
You can just see she's nominated a vault with a value of 9.9. Very difficult. Handspring, pike front off with 1.5 twists. Same little directional problems, Mitch.
Yeah, the compass isn't working quite as effectively as she wants. You can see she pushed slightly to the side, and there's the resultant pace.
But a very hard vault. She drives off the top into the pike, the 1.5 twists. Pretty clean as well.
Yeah, she had a very nice position in the air, very straight legs. Attacking this vault with as much power as she can. And just a step back and landing.
So Wang Chanchan showing a little bit of adventure and aggression. A very strong second vault, and it's given her 9.343. Third place from 3.
You can put your hands together now as well.
Out there in front at the moment is Monica Rusu, the Olympic champion in 2004, and the Olympic champion of 4 years before that, Elena Zamolodchikova, challenges with her first vault.
And so important, the double twist, very clean. She would love to have one over here and beat Rusu, I'm sure.
Great start, though.
Very good. We've watched her training, and this was definitely one of the better vaults we've seen from her this weekend. Lifts up well, squeezes the legs together, good control.
Yeah, very good approach onto this vault, very nice in the air. Good approach to the whole performance.
And when you're an Olympic champion, you can reach and find something special. She's opened well.
She has.
But the second vault traditionally has been a problem. And the first score, though, 9.487 for Elena Zamolodchikova. Challenging well. Her second vault, Christine, has given her a few problems.
It has, and she's been training this morning hard at this. It's the Sukahara entry, the turn onto the platform from her feet. Needs lots of height, just squeezes in that double twist, but plenty of deductions for the judges.
So Zamolodchikova on the second vault then. She'll be pleased that that is out of the way.
Needs lots of height. You see she'd lost leg form on the flight on and really struggled to make that double twist round. And that's where the judges get their pens out and start deducting.
Do they still use pens?
Well, I thought as I said it, they don't, do they? They punch the buttons on their computer.
So Zamolodchikova then, 9.412, second to Rosu, who's sitting on her left.
Performer comes from the Alicia Sacramone.
Alicia Sacramone from the USA, 17 years old, from Massachusetts. Pan-American Games vault champion. Here she is on her first vault.
And could be a surprise here. Look at the height and length of that double twisting straight Yushenko. Just floated through the air, loads of power, hits that top, up, 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 plenty of time to finish it.
She's picked up a couple of silvers on the World Cup circuit and could be a surprise, Christine, as you say.
Question is whether she's got a second vault to match this, but this is impressive vaulting.
Secret is, as you say, depth, strength in depth. 9.537 for Alicia Sacramone, first vault, looking good. So having impressed the judges so much on her first vault, the Pan-American champion on this apparatus presents her second, Alicia Sacramone.
Oh, and a very strong second vault as well. Big step backwards, but loads and loads of height. Look, the handspring approach, up into the front somersault, 1.5 twists, really high.
Yeah, she attacks this vault very close to the end. See the hand placement, and then she gets such height off the top of that vault. I think definitely the best two vaults for me.
It's a little bit short, that's the only problem. Because she went for such height, she didn't get a lot of length.
Well, for the American, there are two Olympic champions out there in first and second, and Sacramone has gone into the lead ahead of two Olympic champions, 9.481.
She represents Russia. It's Anna.
17 years old, Anna Pavlova. Second in the World Championships last year. Here she is.
Very relaxed gymnast, but a very efficient one. Look at the double twist, no fuss, very efficient.
Took the bronze medal in Athens on vault.
The round-off approach favoured by so many of the gymnasts. They can get on early, lift off high. She's very clean, legs locked together, perhaps not so much height. Here the cartwheel, snap to join your legs, big push off the top, it gives them loads of height.
Yeah, Christine, lots of height and lots of rotation and a good position in there as well.
And what a vault final this is turning out to be. 9.487 for Pavlova. Second vault for Pavlova.
Oh, just off direction and fairly heavily penalised. penalised when that happens, when you actually land outside the tram lines. But again, really nice, good flight. See, she uses the round off in front of the board, but she half turns on this time. But that's where the problem was, wasn't it? Right from the turn on.
Yeah, Christine, she was a little bit too far over to that side of the vault, and that put her completely off in the vault.
So Pavlova, tall order really. Sacramone out in front. Anna Pavlova, 9.418. She takes a bronze. Amazing, really. We have an Olympic champion eclipsed into 4th place. What a final this has been. Confirmation then, a surprise gold for the USA's Alicia Sacramone. Monica Rosu takes silver, and Anna Pavlova ahead of Elena Zamolodchikova to take the bronze medal.
Yes, surprise winner Alicia Sacramone didn't make the American team for the Olympic Games this summer. Point proved, Craig?
I think so, definitely. I mean, in warm-up, she was much better than all the other girls. A lot more height in the air, and the landings were cleaner, so a well-earned first place.
What was your best vault?
Probably not as good as that.
Certainly better than I would ever have been able to do, Craig. OK, 2 more finals to come this afternoon. It's the event which can tie the men in knots, the pommel horse, and then this big Birmingham crowd has heart and mouth time because Beth Tweddle attempting to make history for Great Britain on the asymmetric bars. But first of all, an update from Ray back in London.
Thanks so much, Hazel.
Well, we got 2 more finals to come for you this afternoon, and we're all looking forward to seeing Beth Tweddle perform a brand new routine on the asymmetric bars. Can she become the first British gymnast ever to win a medal in this prestigious World Cup finals? But first of all, it's the event for men which can certainly, as I said earlier, tie them in knots. They prepare to ride the pommel horse. OK, this horse doesn't move, but it's just as likely to throw you off.
Pommel horse is technically difficult. Gymnasts must combine momentum and balance to master the double-leg circle, which they use to travel up and down the horse. Combinations on one handle receive greater bonus points, but are much more difficult to perform and increases the risk of falling off. All 3 parts of the pommel have to be used, and a controlled dismount needs to be shown.
Now, Craig, this was one of your best events when you were competing. The swing is the thing. Balance on the move. How tricky is this?
Probably the most difficult piece in men's apparatus, to be honest, compared to the women's beam, in that you have to stay on it.
And in terms of being able to stay on this and perform, when you lose balance, how difficult is it to regain it at that point?
It's very difficult. I mean, pretty much when you've lost your balance, you're off. There's nothing you can do, really, just chalk up and get back on.
OK. Well, you were pretty good at this, but the undisputed king of pommels is one Marius Urzica. He's a 3-time world champion, a 3-time winner of this event, and of course he's won the Olympic Games twice as well. Now, Urzica will certainly be pushed here in Birmingham because what a lineup this is. Japan's Takahiro Kashima, the reigning world champion. We've got the current European champion, Yon Sushu, and a host of other medalists in the final. And in illustrious company here, Britain's Ross Brewer, the man with a first-class maths degree and 2 Commonwealth gold medals. He's earned a wild card entry to this final.
I'm more of an all-round gymnast, but pommels is my best piece. I've been British champion 4 times the last 4 years on pommels, so quite pleased to be here, and hopefully I'll have a good competition. Everyone in the final seems to be a world or European finalist on pommels, so I'm really pleased to be in the final with them. It's the highest level of final I've ever been in, so I'm really pleased to be here.
Yes, good luck to Ross, but we're going to start with the man who really has reigned supreme in this event. He's 29, and for a decade he's been the man in form. He is, of course, Marius Urzica of Romania.
I think I have a hard competition, and I think all 8 people who is in the final is good competitors. As I said, I want to make my routine, and the judges will decide who is the best.
10 years you have been at the top. How much longer?
I don't know. I'm thinking for next year to make also to continue, and after that maybe the rules is changing in gymnastics a little bit, and we must see I can continue or no. But I'm thinking just for the next year.
29 years old, world champion, 3 times Olympic champion, European champion and World Cup champion. Marius Urzica from Romania presents, and his work depends upon its complexity, amazing construction. Drifts through the start. Triple Russian swing on the one handle, and the spindle in flares, which has become his trademark. And Urzica settles into the single leg work. Back to the doubles. There's a Zavado travel. Stockley back on the handles, and then he's down into the dismount, and Urzica has kicked off this Pommels final with a super routine.
Makes gymnastics look so easy, doesn't he? And particularly the pommel horse, loads of rhythm and style.
Yeah, beautiful, intricate work on that one handle. He really is a master on that one handle. I think he could stay there for an age.
And the body line tight and controlled from Urzica.
So precise in his hand placements, and up into that spindle dismount that just spins so fast.
Urzica showing a very well constructed routine here, and finishes with a pirouette through handstand. So he's looking for the score now is Urzica, but when this man starts with 7 still to come, he will set a challenge for anyone. Urzica waits for his score. Hardy Fink there, and Sawao Kato, one of the greats from the 60s. The first score, 9.812 for Marius Urzica. That's the target, and it's a tough one.
Our second performance, he represents Japan.
Takahiro Kashima, 3rd in the Olympic Games, but world champion in Anaheim 1 year ago. The Japanese challenge from world champion Takahiro Kashima, and starts beautifully. Good extension from the shoulders into the Zavado travel. Clean, controlled swing. The Russians on the one handle. Back into the middle he goes. Through the single leg combination, which they have to include. Lovely razor-like precision there with 2 legs. And travels the length of the horse in the pyramid handstand. And Kashima has lived up to the challenge laid down from Urzica.
Just a super start, immediately impresses. And the style is really second to none, isn't it?
Technique in those circles, and indeed the flares, superb.
Yeah, it's very good technique, Mitch. You've got to get your balance right over your hands to try and ensure that you don't fall off that pommel. He was offline on one of his travels, but he recovered well to finish.
The Japanese have made huge strides, Olympic team champions now, and this man, one of the linchpins in that effort. Look at the extension from the shoulder. Beautiful work, good counter lean with the shoulders. And Kashima showing just why he's world champion. And the verdict is in, 9.587. Kashima.
The score 9.587. So we can move on now to our fifth.
Christian Berkey from Budapest, and the Hungarian tradition. Those of you like me who can remember back to the 70s, the likes of Magyar, Zivado, and the legacy left to gymnasts decades later still lives on. Christian Berkey in this World Cup final. And lost leg form there, very expensive that will be. Into the Zivado travel. His trademark is this absolute height and separation in single leg work, and almost overdid it there. Little bit laboured there from Berkey. 19-year-old from Budapest.
Not quite the confidence, not quite the style was there. He approached it without quite the same aplomb.
Yes, Christian, as he circles the pommel, he's got nice leg style, but he just loses form on that Russian spindle, but recovers well to continue. It always looks very elegant when the gymnast is a little bit taller, so they can swing well.
Christian Berkey then, a few problems, laboured a little in the dismount, but recovered enough. So he's chasing some lofty scores, 9.812, 9.537. Christian Berkey, he's won one World Cup event in qualifying. 9.412 for Christian Berkey in third, with 5 performances still to come. 26 years old, Mr. Nice Guy of men's gymnastics, Nikolai Krukov. Surprise world champion all-round in 1999 in Tianjin, and took a bronze medal last year on this apparatus in Anaheim. And he started very clean, very high, taking his time through the Russian swings onto the one handle with the Stockley back in. And it's clean so far for Krukov. Circles down and then the back travel. Beautiful work, Alan McGillney there. Just a pause in the handstand. What a pity for Krukov, because he swung his way through that routine, and the handstand was the only visible break in swing.
Well, that's one of the best performances I've seen him give for a long while. He was wonderfully high above the handles. Looked confident.
Yeah, that was a very good performance from Krukov. I was very impressed with his body form, keeping his legs glued together in a beautiful position.
Technique, swinging fully from the shoulders, and Krukov at 26, vastly experienced, really.
Yeah, when you get to that sort of age, you can sort of rely a little bit on your experience in competitions of the past, and try and correct some of the errors that may come up during your routine.
And the only break in rhythm, a pity for Krukov, the rest brilliant. He's done his job, Nikolai Krukov, swinging his way through an excellent routine, just that falter at the end. 9.637 for the Russian. He moves into second. Busnari, a 31-year-old from Italy, launches into his exercise. Vastly experienced now. The Magyar travel. The Russian swing, slapping that horse. As he travelled forward, so he travelled backwards in the Zivado version. On the one handle, but he's losing the swing here. A little bit of strength took over. And Busnari still safely in contact with the apparatus. Flaring, spindling, but flat in the handstand. Just a few problems early on, and it robbed Busnari of his focus and his concentration.
Yes, a little disappointed he looked as he finished there. He brushed the pommel horse with his legs and really just lost some control.
Yes, it's very disappointing when you just make a little bit of mistake on that handle. You've got to squeeze and hold on that handle for your life and try and continue and finish the routine.
And the routine can seem so long with errors. He survived it. Busnari awaits the verdict of the judges. And there they are, deliberating. Istvan Karaksoni and Hardy Fink and the great Sawari Kato. 9.137. The problems took the score down as the start value of Alberto Busnari. The audience delighted and absolutely behind Britain's Ross Brewer from the Sutton School of Gymnastics, twice British all-round champion, twice Commonwealth gold medalist. Here he is in a World Cup final. Keeping the swing through the Russians. And an extra one there. Oh, and he just needs to control that. A little bit piked on the swing, but he recovered well through to the dismount, and Ross Brewer gave it his all. And listen to the response.
Well, plenty of grip, plenty of determination, just a couple of tiny errors, but he overcame them fantastically.
Yeah, Ross did absolutely fantastic to finish that routine. A good performance. I spoke to Ross in training and he said that if he gets through this one-handle combination, then he'll be happy, and anything above a 9.3 he'll be delighted with.
And Ross Brewer, complex here into, let's count those turns, through his second, approaching his third, and that's not easy to keep your balance and your swing.
Yeah, how he holds on to that balance, we will never know.
So what's the verdict for Ross Brewer? He got out there and gave it his very best shot. 9.337. Ross Brewer in fifth. One of the few gymnasts ever to beat the great Marius Uzica on pommels. His compatriot, Johan Suciu, is the European champion on this apparatus. He's got a fabulous attitude to the sport. Any medal, he said, will be a medal for Romania, whichever of us wins. Suciu into the routine. Magyar and Zavaro, the great Hungarians, gave us those two moves. Into the Russian swing, and he almost lost that. A great dip in his left arm, but he recovered very well his balance and his swing. Recovered from that little wrestling competition. And he's through smoothly, the dismount, and Suciu, the second of the two Romanians in this final, acquitting himself extremely well.
Very efficient gymnast, isn't he? Good and high above the handles. Not, for me, quite the style of his compatriot.
Yes, Christine, he almost lost it on that one handle, but muscled through to hold on for his life. He's been through this routine thousands of times in training, so he's used to getting to these sticky points as well.
2000 European champion of gold, 2004 Olympic bronze medalist with his team, and fourth in the all-round competition in Athens.
It's over. 9.662 for Johan Suciu. He's delighted. He's into second. Prepared to be amazed whether or not he takes gold. His swing is exceptional. Chao Kun, 19 years old, has a technique all of his own. Swings a mile above the handles, from the shoulder, light and quick. Wonderful technique, precision of swing, extension from the shoulder. And what Ursika has in complexity, this man has in swing and virtuosity. It's beautiful to watch. Absolutely zips through. Throwing the hips out there, making sure the extension is right through to the end. And Chao Kun has challenged very strongly indeed. Superb technique, typical of the Chinese.
And swings so fast, doesn't he, Mitch? Really does hold his body out there and makes it look so simple.
Yeah, superb swing and technique, Mitch, from the shoulders. He has got the highest swing I've ever seen on these pommel horse. And he's only 19, which gives him a long time to compete on pommels.
And Chao Kun has been in fabulous form latterly in this World Cup series, having beaten Ursika in Glasgow and demonstrating superb extended swing and technique. 9.812 is the target. 9.662 is in silver and 9.637 in bronze at the moment. This is the man who posted a 9.9 in the Ghent World Cup, so he could do it. Chao Kun, 9.825, steals the gold with the very last performance in this final. Chao Kun for China then takes the gold ahead of Marius Ursika, and it was another Romanian who took the bronze, Johan Suciu. A superb final on pommel horse.
Yeah, Xiao Qin, absolutely wonderful performance from him. And of course, silver medal for the Chinese in the last two World Championships. He's got one over on Ursika this time, but they were training together. Wasn't expected yesterday, was it?
No, they came in and did the pommel routines pretty much right in front of one another. And the other gymnasts were just thinking, is this the final taking place on the warm-up day? So it was quite interesting watching them see who was falling off and staying on. And I think psychologically, if you put in a good routine and your rivals there watching, it could only help.
Do you think Xiao did that deliberately? Was there an element of trying to psych Ursika out in that?
Without a doubt. He did it at the World Championships last year, and it didn't just quite work for him, but it seems to have worked for him this weekend, so yeah.
And finally, how long do you think Ursika can continue? 29 years of age now.
The good thing about pommels is it's quite a low impact piece of apparatus to do, so you don't really take that many knocks. So I think he could carry on at least till the next Olympics. Depends if he's got bored with collecting these medals or not.
Absolutely, I don't think he'll ever get bored with it, Craig. Thank you very much. And now to the event that we're very, very much looking forward to, as is this huge crowd in Birmingham. It's the asymmetric bars final, and of course it features a certain Beth Tweddle, who is of course the British girl ranked number 2 in the world. She's been performing miracles in the last 2 years on the circuit, and the world number 1 Svetlana Kokina has 1 foot in retirement, so she is officially the best ranked gymnast here in this event. Can she make history by becoming the first British gymnast ever to win a medal in these World Cup finals? Well, Beth will be up at number 6 in this event, and she'll be performing, very bravely, a brand new routine.
The basis of the routine's actually stayed the same. I've just changed the scales around, connected the Markov, which is the release and catch where I do go over the bar forwards to half turn and catch, and then connected that straight into the ginger, which is a back away with a half turn to re-catch. So that's just something original. The judges don't often see it, so hopefully it'll give them a bit of a different routine to watch. I've seen the routine I've had for so long now, so they're probably getting bored, probably thinking, oh, is she ever going to change it? So even though this isn't the full routine that I'll eventually end up with, they'll see that it has got some changes, and I am looking forward for the new season.
Well, it's a very interesting lineup, this one, because Beth Tweddle, the World Championship bronze medalist, remember, from last year, is against the 16-year-old American who took the gold last year in Anaheim in that competition. She's Chelsea Memel, who missed out on the Olympics this year because of a serious foot injury. And Chelsea will be fresh, and she'll doubtless to be keen for make-up for lost time. Also watch out for the two Chinese gymnasts who are 5th and 7th in Athens, Li Ya and Lin Li. But I think there's a huge sense of anticipation here, Craig, about Beth Tweddle. It is a risk. Why is she taking the risk to change the routine, do you think?
Well, like she said, I think the judges want to see people pushing the boundaries. They're all out of 10 pretty much, so you've got to do something that catches a judge's eye.
Does it feel to you, Craig, as if she's sending a message to them that she's serious? She is keen and she is ambitious to change things.
It's definitely the right way to go about things. Disappointed with the performance at the Olympic Games, missing out on the final. So she's just going to prove to the other gymnasts that she deserves to be up there, and that Olympic place should have been hers.
Tell us about the degree of difficulty that she will be attempting here. It's 2 release and catch moves back to back.
Yeah, you very rarely see this on women's gymnastics, especially on the bars, because the lower bar tends to get in the way, where the men on the high bar can maybe link 5 or 6 releases together. 2 for the women is very, very difficult.
Well, she's got to catch them both, obviously. And let's just remind you of what the judges will be looking for in all of the routines today.
With this apparatus, upper body strength is all important. The gymnast's height can affect the performance. Tall gymnasts change shape fitting between the bars, as there's a maximum width allowed. The bigger the swing, the better, allowing somersaults and turns to be linked together for maximum difficulty. And of course, it's important to finish with an exciting dismount.
So we're just completing our warm-up before we get underway in this final. Very, very good, high-quality final about to get underway. Beth Tweddle will be performing 6th, which is a good draw for Beth, because you might remember in the Olympic Games when she was trying to qualify for the final, she had an early draw. And as the day went on, well, the scores subsequently got higher and higher, and Beth missed out on a place in that Olympic final by something like 0.025 of a mark. I know she was bitterly disappointed, but there's no doubting the quality of Beth Tweddle as we look at the first contender to go in this final. Let's just assess the thoughts of Christine, Mitch and Steve.
But first,
Well, Beth's got it all to go for, but it's a very high standard, and this is an excellent gymnast we're going to start with.
Irina Krasninskaya, 7th in the World Championships, 16 years old, in the Ukrainian team of Athens.
And wonderful start there, Pike in and out. But that was just a little bit dead, you see. She had to use a bit of strength up to the high bar, and she just clipped the low bar as she was past it. Oh, fought very well, but a flat Kachev. Lovely style, legs are tight, but just tiny errors. Just a little step on the landing.
Worked very hard to make sure the dismount got around. But, just a little taste of the sort of standard we can expect in this final.
Yes, that's the Kachev where you straddle over the bar. That's one of the releases we heard Beth and Craig speaking about, when the gymnast lets go of the bar completely and recatches. And this, her dismount, just a little 10th deduction for the step, but good and high.
Complex, but needs to keep those arms straight, needs to keep the handstand shape. And not quite as clean there when she beat the handstand.
No, a little bit of it looked laboured, and those are where the judges deduct. As Mitch said, if you bend the arms, they deduct. That was a lovely turn into an inverted grip and makes the half turn. Or you can see great big rip in her hand there. The coach is just administering to. That's one of the war wounds of being a gymnast. The constant swinging on the bars wears the hands away, and she doesn't wear handguards.
Occupational hazard. And the score for Irina Krasnitska is 9.462.
Next to go then from China, Lin
Li from China made that final, the one in which Beth Tweddle got the bronze, and she finished in 7th place. She was an AVAR finalist also in Athens, so Christine, the level of performance, can't afford to make an error.
No, it's very tight, very tough, and that was a beautiful Jaeger straight into the pack. Lots and lots of flight. The Chinese gymnasts always beautiful and stylish. You can see the legs tight, but she was a bit short on handstand there. Great pirouettes and wonky on that Markelov. She's just leaving the door open a little bit. Oh, and a big step on the dismount. Came off the bar early. Fabulous work, but not without error.
A veritable ping off the high bar, a sign of an early release, but there were some lovely touches, as there always are from the Chinese.
Yes, the Chinese gymnasts have wonderful shoulder line. They can get their arms right behind their ears, and that makes all the turns very easy. But there we see the pack salto, so high, so impressive.
Keeps the swing going, finding handstand, using strength as well as swing.
And this is a move they have to include a flight from the low bar to the high bar, and quite a lot of them lose a bit of swing on it, as she did there, and that handstand was well short. Those are the little marks that the judges are looking for that'll differentiate between the really great routine.
A few little form faults, but the content and the overall presentation, typically Chinese in its attack and its technique.
And this, I think, Mitch, the dismount, you see if the gymnast works with the bar goes down and then up. But she let go at the bottom of the bar, and you can see the twang she got on it.
Known in the trade as a ping. And the score, 9.2, second behind the girl from Ukraine. The relaxed and composed frame of 16-year-old Li Ya. She too in the A-Bars final in Anaheim. She finished 5th there. She won the Glasgow Grand Prix just a month ago.
Yes, she was ahead of Beth there, and she really is a beautiful gymnast. You can see this fabulous body line. Absolutely straight. That the difficult turn. Through the complex turns into a huge Jaeger. Very clean release. And that's something she's often faltered on, but she's clean today. Fighting hard, still a little bit to go. Fabulous work. Winds up for the dismount. Big high. Oh, just that pace.
Superb attack, but right to the very end, and then that error. And Li Ya, light of touch, and all those little flourishes throughout the routine, just totally in control of the technique.
Yeah, she really holds that body straight as straight, and you can see the extension through the shoulders, pressing on the bar all the time, keeps the body so long so that she gets maximum swing. You could see she was so high and well flighted.
And it's a delight to see someone who can make a virtuoso performance on the apparatus. Look at that, drifting through the air in the pack salto. She really is in control.
She's a delightful gymnast, a real, like you say, Mitch, real virtuosity. The lift up to the high bar.
And what a pity, right at the very end. Full twisting double, and just that lack of control. But wasn't it super before that?
Really was. I've never seen her look quite so sad, actually. She's usually full of smiles.
Don't need to be too sad though. 9.6 for the and the lead. And really, you can become complacent and talk about medal prospects, but the quality, every one of these gymnasts who won through to a World Cup final. Danielle Hippolito, 20-year-old from Sao Paulo, brother of Diego, who's already won a gold. And I wonder what for Danielle.
Well, she'll be keen to emulate him, I'm sure. Just a little split on those legs and a bit wonky. Recovered very well. Hits the handstand. And lots of swing out of that transfer. Clean on the pirouettes. Just that split of the legs again. And the catcher, that for me was a bit flat. Not quite the same quality as the rest of the routine. But lots of power, lots of swing. Up into the dismount, double straight, and what a good landing.
4 performances and they've all gone through, and Hippolito living with them. Again, consistency. You have to be out of the top draw to make a final of this quality in this company.
There the turns, and there you could see she was a little bit wonky, but she's so experienced and so strong. She was able to control it, pull it back. And here, absolutely in that handstand shape, no doubt that the judges will credit that.
20 years old and calling on every dram of experience, really, to rescue this routine. Hippolito.
But that, the double straight dismount, really very well landed.
Young lady next to her, 9.6, firmly in the lead. Lovely smile from Danielle Hippolito.
She's led the Brazilian teams for several years now, been to 2 Olympics, so she's really lots of experience, and we've seen her work change quite a lot over the years. A lot of Ukrainian influence, a lot of Ukrainian coaches working in Brazil.
9.4, third place for the Brazilian. We are awaiting the performance from Beth Tweddle, Christine, and she's in fine company here.
And it's time now to bring on our next set of finalists.
Wait till you hear the roar that's about to light up this National Indoor Arena, because Beth Tweddle is making her entrance here, shouldering all the pressure. And Craig, you remember this atmosphere from the Commonwealth Games in Manchester. How will she respond here? She did so well in taking the gold on this piece of apparatus 2 years ago. Memories come flooding back for her?
Yeah, certainly, without a doubt. I mean, most of the people have actually come to see Beth. I think this is a performance of the weekend, and I think it's only fair that she wins this weekend, to be honest. I'm convinced. But she won't want to win easy. There have been some good performances already, and if she's going to take the title, she'll want to do it on a good routine.
Well, listen to this.
Beth Tweddle.
She's the one they've come to see, all right. Beth for gold, they say. And my goodness, there's an awful lot of pressure on that young lady's shoulders. It's a brand new routine. The degree of difficulty is very high. The first time she'll have performed it in a major competition. How do you think she copes with these nerves? You know her as a person, Craig.
Quite easy. She takes it all in a stride, to be honest. It's not like she's just turned up here. She's been putting a lot of work in for the past 2 years. I mean, winning gold at the Commonwealth on bars, medals in Europeans and Worlds, so the pressure's not really going to get to her at all, I don't think.
Well, I hope so, and we wish Beth luck. We wish all of the competitors luck, of course, in this one. And the first gymnast that we'll be seeing, speaking of quality, is the world champion. She won this title last year. It's Chelsea Memel of the United States. Back to Christina Midge.
Chelsea Memel then. World champion indeed, Hazel. And the one to beat as Li Ya out there with a 9.6. And what sort of score is he going to take, Christine, to win this World Cup final?
Well, the judges don't often go much more than 9.65, 9.675, that sort of thing. The 9.6 was a very good score, but she made an error. She took a step, so I'm sure it's there for the gymnasts if they go absolutely clean.
16 years old, Chelsea Memel. It's a pity, I'm sure. Her family, her coach and herself at missing Athens, but here she is with the chance for World Cup glory, chasing a 9-6 Chelsea Memel.
And a huge opening, clear circle into Kachev, immediate pack, all the difficulty in there, and another huge release here, up to the high bar, back to the low bar. Wonderful control. But that was a little extra move in there from when we've watched in training. Recovers well, strong handstand shape, strong pirouettes, and this, something very original, shoot out, up to handstand, watch the dismount, double front. Very exciting original work, Mitch.
From a world champion, and worthy a performance that will take some beating, and one which Beth will be pleased to beat if she can. If you're going to take gold, you want to take it with style, and this is the girl that set the marker. She's challenging strongly to Li Ya. Chelsea Memel looking extremely good.
Very good indeed. That clear circle into the Kachev has such small margin for error, and she performed it really, really well. Big swing here. One of my favourite moves, Shaposhnikova, named after a very famous Russian gymnast, but that was where she had an extra swing, I think. Not an extra swing, but she put an extra upstart in.
Chelsea Memel then proving her pedigree, living up to it. Not at all phased by the 9-6 posted by Li Ya. Anxious moments, and she's smiling through it.
Well, it was a good performance. It's quite difficult for these gymnasts. They're not actually warming up in the arena. There's Apparatus out at the back. They're warming up out the back, and we see there the judges. Nellie Kim in the centre.
Well, Beth staying calm. Her performance is the one she'll be focusing on. But for Chelsea Memel, 9.625 and the lead at this stage. And what, I wonder, is going through Beth's mind, as Craig said, she's used to the pressure. She can focus, she must focus. She has an opportunity, but she needs to beat 9.625.
She needs to be at her absolute best, and it really, as Hazel said earlier, is a very tall order. Brand new routine. Watch it closely. Here, the toe on off. This half turn important. Now, this is the Markelov. Has it enough flight into the Ginger? Yes, it has. Now, the difficult combinations in turn. Here, she's in invert. She makes a full pirouette. Another one. And now she must hit the handstand on the low bar. Yes, she does. Make sure. Lots of swing. And very difficult combination to finish. Watch the full pirouette. Comes square. Full twisting double back. Well, for me, that was enough.
A magnificent response to two world-class routines. And Beth Tweddle got on those bars and gave it absolute max. Superb performance under pressure. Amanda Kirby there, delighted. Whatever the result, you could not have asked for better from Beth Tweddle.
No, they've put this new routine together. They really don't know what the response of the judges will be. But this is the combination. The Markelov, she catches with enough swing to kick straight up into the Ginger. Legs locked together. And then she hits this handstand. One of the criticism of some of her earlier routines have been that the pirouettes have been a bit slow, so she's changed this section so she turns right on top of the bar. The invert swing, and this, the very difficult pirouette, finishes high in the handstand.
Really You'd think she'd be doing that routine for years, wouldn't you?
Well, yes. I think she's enjoyed the new challenge, really. And this handstand absolutely held, made sure the judges were sure she was in handstand. And this, the transfer that so many of the gymnasts find difficult, but she catches at arm's length.
A smile from Beth. The verdict about to be delivered. They're quiet now, but what's the reaction? 9.612, and at this stage, a silver medal performance. 2 performances still to come. I don't know. Will she be disappointed, Chris?
I think a little. I think it was cleaner, but perhaps we're a bit biased.
Biased? I don't think so, but it would be so lovely. At 9.612, she's living with the best in the world. 7th to perform, Laura van Leuven from the Netherlands, 18 years old, from The Hague.
And very good combinations here. Just lost swing a little bit. And fighting hard, she's got the rhythm back, the 1.5 turn, very difficult combinations, 1.5 into the Jaeger, but there she just lost swing. And repeats it, makes it. Now she's got to build into the dismount. Up, double front, good dismount, but little error in the middle there.
Laura van Leuven, she's been to the Olympics, and the Netherlands have had a good run in the past, but just dropped off the boil a little, Christine.
Yes, they had a generation of gymnasts who really excelled, but very few coming along behind. This gymnast, one of the few. She's a very strong gymnast, but she missed a combination there. She went over the bar when she didn't wish to, and then it really put the routine out a little bit of sync. You could see she caught with such bent arms that she had to absolutely power into the upstart.
And it's swing, not strength. All those little pauses, the punctuations, will cost.
Good strong dismount here, double front somersault. Difficult to land this. You don't see the floor till the last minute.
So for the 18-year-old from The Hague Pro Patria Club,
chats it through with the coach. That's always the first thing the gymnast and the coach want to do.
At 9.075, 7th place for Laura van Leuven. Just the one performance remaining in this World Cup final, and it's from Ludmila Etova. 22-year-old now, she's vastly experienced. In 2002, she got a bronze medal on this apparatus. So you can think that we've been treated to the very best on this apparatus, really.
Absolutely. Great standard. Now this mount is the thing she's been having problems with. Quite a small gymnast has to fly across and does so successfully. Clean half turn and another full turn into the Jaeger. Good, strong work. The half turn hops the full. Good line, just a little short on some of the handstands, but the pirouetting work, and there, the very unusual front away with half turn. Both those elements just a bit short. Very good swing. Works the dismount, double front with half turn, very efficient routine.
Right to the very end, the very last performance, and the standard abounds here. Etova, bronze medalist in 2002, showing her medal, and some quite original work there, that lovely front half turn and then the dismount.
Yes, very fluid work. There we are, the front away with the half turn to recatch the low bar. But here, that cast was short, and that, the clear circle, she came out short of handstand. Little errors that will cost her. It'll cost her from the very top scores, but it's still a very strong routine.
Looking to get into the 9.6s. There's a 9.6 in third. There's a 9.612 in second. And Chelsea Mammell's out there in front with 9.625.
It's so tight, isn't it, Mitch?
Tight and a real competition. That so far then needs to get into the 9.6s.
Oh, and a delay while the judges think hard about it. She's there with coach, actually, that's Pavlova's mother who coaches and is often here with the gymnasts. She's very happy with that performance.
Nice to see. Relax now after the pressure.
Competitions are always great once you've finished, especially if you've performed well. You know, you'll never see so many smiling gymnasts as once all the pressure's gone and it's over.
What a final it's been. I mean, it's easy to repeat, and sitting patiently is Beth Tweddle there, having given her all in silver medal position at the moment. That's of our score. Chelsea Mammell, you can see standing next to her coach right at the end of that shot, just scratching her knee now. There is the young lady in red. She is in gold medal position at the moment. There's applause, 9.35, so the threat has faded from Ludmila Petrova. Beth Tweddle walking towards us, looks relaxed, doesn't look phased. She knows she did a good job.
Oh yes, she did a good job. I think she'll be very pleased with the performance. Like I say, the judges haven't judged that routine before. Both she and Amanda were interested to find out how the reaction would be for its first time out.
What a final it was. Confirmation, Chelsea Mammell from the USA takes gold, and Elizabeth Tweddle, Beth Tweddle, 9.612 takes the silver, a superb effort from her, and Li Ya from China takes the bronze. Now you've been sitting very patiently through all that. Steve Frew, what did you think?
Well, it was a very good final. I think I was very impressed with Beth's new routine. Absolutely fantastic, Mitch, and I was just hoping she could squeeze out that gold medal, but it wasn't to be. But fantastic performance.
Fantastic indeed. And more in store, more World Cup finals still to come. The next will be the men's rings. And Beth is now with Hazel to tell us about that silver medal performance.
Indeed she is. Silver medal, Beth Tweddle. Absolutely wonderful performance. You've won a Commonwealth gold, you've got European World Championship medals. Where does this one rate?
It's pretty special with it being in front of the home crowd, and it's on a world rating, so I'm really pleased with it.
13/100ths of a second, of a mark even, you lost that one by. Can you allow yourself a tiny margin of disappointment that you didn't get the gold, Beth?
Obviously they're always going to be that slight with it being so close, but I've got to be really pleased with that performance. It's the first time out with that routine, so anything with that routine I was really pleased with.
Tell us about the nerves, because we were talking at great length about it being the first time you performed this new routine in front of the judges. How nervous did you feel going in there, really?
I was all right until about the last 10 minutes, and then it just sort of sunk in what I was actually going to do, but just sort of kept myself away from it, just stayed out of the back and just hid.
Could you have been any happier with the way you performed that routine?
Probably just the dismount was the only thing that I was a bit disappointed with, but other than that I was really pleased.
Craig, what did you make of it?
I thought it was fantastic, to be honest. I'm a little biased, but I think that should have won, to be honest. It was a cracking routine.
And of course, Craig and I were talking about the possibilities of taking a breath in that routine. Not many, because it was just one tough move after the other.
Yeah, I've had to rearrange it to try and bump up my score, which meant new connections, which meant the D to D, which is the harder elements to connect. So it was all just about connections and bonus now.
And what message do you think you've sent the judges, not just for this competition, but in future years, Beth?
I'm looking forward to the new season, the new cycle, and hopefully I'll be back up there fighting for the title.
And this isn't the finished routine though, there will be more changes, yeah?
Yeah, unfortunately the full routine wasn't quite ready, but it has been worked back in the gym, so look out next season.
Okay, but we're also looking out for you on the floor tomorrow, and then I understand that you've got a very interesting Monday morning, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got my exams at 9:30 on Monday morning.
That's some reward, Beth, but you certainly deserve an awful lot of credit today. Congratulations, our heart was certainly in our mouth today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done indeed. Okay, well that just about completes our coverage from the NNA for today. There is one more final, it's the men's rings competition, and we're hoping to bring you that in our coverage of Sunday Grandstand tomorrow, when of course we will have another 5 more finals for you in this wonderful World Cup finals. And we'll be seeing the undisputed star of the Athens Olympics, Catalina Ponor, the only gymnast to win 3 gold medals in Athens. Beth, of course, will be returning this time on the floor. We're also off to Germany for the European Cross-Country Championships, Britain's women defending their team title, and more athletics too with the great Ethiopian run. And from Vienna, the European Short Course Swimming Championships, with the British team hoping to continue the success they enjoyed in the 25-metre pool at the Worlds in America recently. That's all from 25-1. And looking a little bit further ahead, do you fancy getting the inside oil on one of the most dramatic gold medal performances of the summer? Check this out.
Up in Birmingham.